going to take a 30-second
That's a long time.
little dance jig break. Go ahead, take it away. We're going to have a brief statement that I'm going to read from a Cuban institution called the Cuban Institute of Friendship with the People. And again, I think this kind of explains and demonstrates a little bit the kind of country that Cuba is. They don't have a War Department. They have an Institute of Friendship with the People. Okay? And this is a statement that they're putting out to all the Cuba solidarity groups who are holding events over the next few days as the UN vote unfolds. I'm going to try to keep it brief. Dear friends, the U.S. blockade is a criminal act of economic warfare. It's rooted on the aspirations of every subsequent U.S. administration since 1959's triumph of the revolution to destroy a whole people's resolve to live with sovereignty and self-determination. The blockade's main practical goal is to undermine the revolution's popular support by weakening Cuba's economic life, to cause hunger and desperation on the Cuban people, and drive them to overthrow the revolutionary government as stated in the famous secret memo by Deputy Assistant Secretary of State Lester Malloy to his superiors in 1960. Its symbolic aim is to crush the inspiration and hope the Cuban Revolution represents for many people around the world by making an example by making an example of willingly pushing an entire people for over 65 years now. Most updated estimates state that up to February 2024, the damages accumulated at current prices during more than 6 decades of implementation of the blockade amount to $164 billion of economic losses for our country. Indeed, between March 1st, 2023 and February 29th, 2024, in 1 year alone, the blockade has caused an estimated $5 billion worth of damages. And just for, this stat is not in here, but they published it before. In regards to the energy crisis in Cuba right now, just 1 month of those losses caused by the blockade could fund the energy system and the upgrades and maintenance it needs for an entire year. So 1 month of economic losses caused by the blockade is the reason, right? That is the reason why Cuba is experiencing the hardships that it's experiencing right now. I'm just going to get to the end here. Cuba has always counted on the support of many other voices. Those international intellectuals, artists, political leaders, parliaments, trade unions, and countless organizations and friends from all over the world. But without question, it's been the unconditional activism of over 1,000 organizations of the International Solidarity with Cuba movement and several associations of Cuban residents in many countries, the ones that have stood their ground on our side in these 65 years of struggle and militantly committed activism against the U.S. blockade. For them, for all of you standing your ground here today, we carry infinite gratitude deep in our hearts. We bring the affirmation that without you all, the story of the heroic resistance of the Cuban people and the Cuban Revolution against the genocidal U.S. blockade could have never been written. Hasta la victoria siempre. Abajo el bloqueo. Thank you. Okay, so now we're going to have a couple of solidarity statements from different groups who are we're just going to pass the mic on to them, and then we're going to bring the day to a close. Thank you guys for being here.